Hello, Paulding County, and welcome again to the Chairman's Corner, where we try to inform you about the different missions of our departments so that you might know better how they operate and how they might be able to serve you and improve your quality of life. I have here with me today Chief Trevor Hess, who is the head of our Marshal Bureau. And Trevor, it's so good to see you today.
You too, sir.
Thanks for coming by, and I always like to start out picking up and allowing our audience to kind of hear what your background was. And I know you've been in law enforcement, and trace us back through that for a couple of minutes. And
yeah, I actually started my career back in 1999 with the Paulding County Sheriff's Office. I was on the Crime Suppression Unit for 10 years. I did 7 years on the SWAT team. Decided to degress and kind of ease out of the hardcore law enforcement and came over to the Marshals Bureau back in 2013.
Well, that's a great background for what you're doing now and what you're heading up leading. What is the main purpose of the Marshal Bureau? And let me just preface that by, I remember just a few months ago, whenever I would see you, you had the black uniform on, and now you look more like a plain clothesman. Is that what the terminology is?
Yeah, we decided to soften up kind of what we do. We redid our ordinance. We're focusing on the quality of life for the citizens of Paulding County. And that is our main goal. Now, we do enforce the county ordinances and the zoning ordinances, but our main focus is actually focusing on the quality of life for the citizens of Paulding County.
Well, I think that's a great restructure of what the Marshal Bureau is intended to be and what your charter is. So that would be the main goal, is to enforce ordinances. How many officers does it take to get the job done?
You know, a lot of people think that we have 20 or 30 officers. We're actually a smaller size agency than that. We have 10 mandated deputies, but we were able to reschedule the way we handled our shifts, and we can actually get 5 deputies at any given time out on the road to help out with the citizens that have ordinance violation issues.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. What are some of the other tasks that you're called on to handle? Ordinance, we were talking about it before we started the video, on the signs.
Yeah. Yeah. We also handle security at the BOC meetings, security at the zoning board of appeals meetings, and from time to time the events in our parks, such as our fireworks shows, things of that nature. We handle security in that as well.
Right. It always gives me a better feeling of security to see you there, Trevor. So, other functions of Paulding Marshal Bureau, you've described that. Again, if anything comes to mind that we've left out, just chime in. As far as unincorporated Paulding County and being out away from the cities, what does the Marshal Bureau do for the citizens that maybe they're not aware of?
Some people aren't aware that we also issue the alcohol licenses for our establishments, such as restaurants and or say like convenience stores,
right.
On-site premise and off-site premise. We also issue the server IDs for those locations like the restaurants.
Okay, yeah.
And we regulate that to make sure that they're in compliance by doing compliance checks either monthly or quarterly. And we also work hand in hand with the state to go out and do compliance checks to ensure that there's no underage sales of persons under 21.
Oh, that's important, and certainly the sheriff's office is freed up to handle other tasks with you all handling things like that. That's great. Well, I just mentioned the sheriff's office, but I know you work with other departments, and you work with our county administrator and report to him. So are there any other organizations that you work closely with?
Yes, sir. We also work with animal control. We assist them with any volatile situations, such as an aggressive animal or potentially animal cruelty. We work with planning and zoning on issues that have to go with land use violations.
Right.
DOT, one of the things that people will see around here potentially is if there's a dump site on the side of the road or just litter,
Yeah.
we work hand in hand with DOT in getting that cleaned up and also investigating those dump sites.
Excellent, yeah. A lot of important things. I mean, trash on the roads, that's going to deter maybe some economic development. So it's a very broad scope mission that you have. Well, I appreciate all the information. I know our citizens do. I might just close out with asking you what some things that you'd like to see in the next 2 or 3 years that are goals of yours or improvements that you'd like to see.
Well, the first thing is employee retention.
Yeah.
When you can retain your employees, it saves the taxpayers money. It also builds an agency that everybody knows everybody. They've worked together for years, and that ensures that we will be able to provide the citizens with an agency that they can depend on to get out there and help them with those quality of life issues. We're already working on some ordinances with animal control. We revised our own that hadn't been done since 1987.
Mm-hmm.
So there are things that we want to look at maybe with other ordinances to help bring those up to the pace of 2018.
Right. And the full Board of Commissioners has gotten on board with kind of the new vision, focus of the marshal. And I know they all appreciate your leadership and have a greater sense of confidence that our ordinances will be monitored and just disciplined the way they need to be. So thank you for all you do.
Absolutely.
And thanks for coming in today.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.